Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing lock laces. Now I believe I ended up paying $9.99. It's a 2-pack that I got here. So these lock laces, basically what they are, it's shoelaces that you don't really have to tie. And I got 2 of them here. So they're elastic shoelaces that have a little locking mechanism. So since I saw them for a good deal, like I said, I believe it was $9.99 for the 2-pack here, I decided to go ahead and get them. I do have some back issues, and every so often it's a little difficult if my back's acting up to be able to kind of bend down and tie my shoes. So I thought it'd be a nice thing for me to try out. There may be a lot of other uses for it as well. It just seems like something simple. You don't have to worry about tying the shoes or them coming untied. I am putting these on my Reebok running shoes here. So if you are a runner or anyone that does any type of sports, depending on how these work, it might be better than having to worry about your shoes coming untied. So, I mean, there's a lot of uses for it. So if I read the back here, it's got the instructions. It just says, step 1, lace the shoes, then squeeze the lock and thread the ends of the laces through the openings. Slide the lock to the tongue of the shoe and adjust to comfortable tension. Step 2, use scissors to cut off the excess lace. We recommend cutting 2 to 3 inches from the lock to leave room for future adjustments. And 3, insert the trimmed lace ends through the square opening on the cord clip and align the lace ends with the teeth inside. Snap close to secure. So it seems pretty easy. And then if you ever lose this and you need the instructions, it says locklaces.com/instructions. So I ended up getting a black pair and then the blue pair. So if they work out good, I may buy some other different colors here. But we're going to try these out and see how they work. So we're going to go ahead and open up the black ones here. It's a little resealable bag, so that's kind of nice. Inside you have the laces with the locking mechanisms here. So you got your locking mechanism pieces. I'm just going to set those aside for right now. And then you have your laces. And like it says, elastic. So very stretchy. I don't know if you can really see that, but there we go. So very, very stretchy elastic. Seems like they're pretty decent quality, so I think that's nice. So I have to delace my my current shoes here, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so there you have the shoe delaced. So now we can grab the lock laces shoelace here and we can lace it up. Alright, so I have it laced all the way up to where I had it before, so now I'm just going to adjust some of the tension on the laces and everything here. Alright, so as you guys can see, I'm wearing my Rocco's Modern Life socks that I got out of the Nick box. We're going to go ahead and try this shoe on. So the only thing that I'm thinking right off the bat here is I like the idea of the elastic laces, but with them being elastic, I feel like that they're stretching instead of like being able to kind of get them tight like a regular lace. They're kind of stretching out because they're elasticy. So I won't really know until we get the whole locking mechanism and everything on here how that's going to work out. Okay, so after we get it laced up, you just have to take one of the locks here, and you just have to squeeze the lock, which opens up the holes there, and you put the laces through. Okay, so after you have the actual lock in place, now you don't want to tighten it down too much. You want to leave a little bit of slack so that way when you cut the laces you don't cut them too short. And then with that being said too, you just want to make sure you don't cut too much off the laces. You can obviously go back and cut more later, but you want to make sure to not cut too much. They suggest 2 to 3 inches. Now, you will have little plastic end tips on the laces just like normal laces do. Of course, you're going to be cutting that off, but then they do give you these little clips that go on the ends of the laces. You just put the ends in there, and you snap it closed, and that'll actually be the end of the laces. So we're going to go ahead and trim these now. And of course you want to try to trim them even. Okay, so now I got them cut there. I'm going to go ahead and attach this little end to it here. So now I'll show you the finished product here. So you have your laced up shoe, you have the locking mechanism, you have the little thing on the end to keep the laces together there. Kind of show you a side profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this shoe on, and I'm going to put the other shoe on with the regular laces, tie them both up, and see which one feels better, works better, any of that. Let's see what happens here. So now there you have the lock laces, and you have the regular laces. So honestly, it doesn't feel that different. I almost feel like maybe the regular laces feels a little looser. Now, like I said, looking at them, because this is like the bungee cord, it looks like it's not laced up as much as the regular shoelace, but it's not loose by any means. And I can make it tighter as well. I didn't make it that tight. It can go tighter. So I honestly feel that they're not horrible. Now, I don't know how they hold up, if they fall apart quicker than regular laces or anything like that. That's going to be a test of time. And I didn't tighten the lock laces as much as I could have. I can still go tighter with those. And I mean, at the current moment, it's not loose. It's not really gonna fall off my foot. I can, of course, take my foot out if I wanted to, but it's not going to fall out. So if I were to go running, biking, even just going for a walk, I mean, I'm not going to fear that the shoe is gonna fall off. Even if I were to go to Six Flags and go on a roller coaster where my feet dangle, I'm not going to be afraid that this is going to fall off. So I honestly think for the price, they're pretty decent. Hey guys, just a quick update after I've been using the lock laces for approximately 2 weeks or so now. I just wanted to state that I do like the lock laces. I actually think I'm going to buy a couple other pairs, a couple different colors, just to have them around. I like the way they function. I don't really have any issues with them per se. What I will tell you though is that they're not really reusable in the sense of if you're someone who likes to take laces from one pair of shoes and put them onto another or swap colors or anything like that. I made a mistake when I was lacing mine up. I put the wrong color on my work shoes, so I had to swap them out, which just caused an issue because it was hard to relace them after I've already cut the little ends off. It was hard to get them through on the other pair of shoes, as well as I kind of cut them to fit that pair of shoes, so they were a little bit shorter on the next pair of shoes. So they're not really reusable per se, but that's not really an issue. It's just something that I had come across. Now, with that also being said, I did trim mine a little too much, so make sure you trim them back, leave them longer than you think you want, and maybe test them out for a couple days, because what's going to happen is they're going to kind of readjust. You're going to feel if they're too tight, too loose, and you're going to kind of play with them for a little bit. And you can always trim them down. You of course can't add to them, so I don't really have a lot of room left, so just make sure that you leave them a little bit longer. You can always open up the little end and then cut the laces and put the little end thing back on again, so just keep that in mind. Now, like I said, after using them for a while, I use them at work, I use them on my running shoes and things like that. I have not had any issues. I like the way they work. You don't obviously have any issues with them coming untied. If you make them really tight for purposes of running or anything like that, they don't loosen up. So I like that aspect of it. They're easy to go ahead and just loosen and take off. I do have someone who I work with, they got a pair for themselves, and they like that they can basically turn their shoes into something they can just slip on and off, depending on how loose or tight you keep them. So all around, I like that they do have a lot of color options. I hope that going forward they do make some more color options, but they're decently priced. They do what they're supposed to, and I think it's a great product. And like I said, I'm going to be ordering some more. So go ahead and make sure you guys check them out. Alright guys, well, that's going to tie up this video here, no pun intended. But I do think that the lock laces are something I'm going to use on my other shoes as well. Now, I probably won't buy another pair until I see how they hold up over time. That's going to be one of the deciding factors here, is if they last a while, or if they need to be replaced any sooner than regular shoelaces. If they're about the same as regular shoelaces, then I'll buy them for all my shoes and use these instead. But we'll see how they hold up over time. That's going to be the big question. But I'm going to go ahead and put these on all my shoes here. Well, at least 2 pairs that I can do today. And over time we'll test them out, and maybe I'll make another video letting you guys know going forward how they hold up. But that's going to end today's video. If you guys like this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Leave any comments, questions, concerns in the comment section down below. Please make sure to subscribe. You can subscribe right over here. Make sure to share it with all your friends across your favorite social media platform, as well as make sure to check out our other videos right over here. And until next time, guys, stay nerdy.